Hey guys, I was doing the piano. Hey, well, how are you? Now, I did something that I haven't done in a minute. And for the last 5 days, I've been editing a video. Now, I had to do something today just to get it out to you. Because I'm crazy. I don't know why I do this to myself, but yeah, the 5 days I spent editing was me literally editing, like not recording and scripting and everything. It was just me editing like a 50-minute long recording I did. And I really thought I could get it out to you. I had to just cut it down to 17 minutes. So like the whole second part isn't in the video. But good news, I'm glad. Because there's some new things that are going on that I think will be better for tomorrow than what I've got at the end of that video. So I'm going to just, I think what I'll do is like still give you the end of the video. But anyway, let me show you what I got for tomorrow. I'm going to give you like a preview, right? For those of you that came here tonight to the stream, I'm going to hook you up so you can get a little bit of a feel of what I'm going to upload if I can figure out how to, find my upload. I'm finding it, don't worry. And I've got it right here. But where is it, man? Hold up. Let me just make my folders bigger because like I know it's in here. So essentially there's a weird thing that happened today that I want to show you. Then on top of that, you probably saw that I took a picture. I took a camera phone image of Busy watching T-Spirit. Gus, will you shut up? I'm freaking streaming. Why you come down here screaming and meowing like a psychopath when I'm trying to do something, bro? Gus is over there bow-mowing. Bow-mowing. You know what a bow-mow is? A bow-mow is where a cat meows by bowing. It's like, bow, bow. Why am I demonetized? I'm about to restart my stream because this is pissing me off. I didn't even cuss yet. I said, hey, guys. Literally, I said, hey, guys. I love being demonetized. I can't complain because everybody on YouTube's having the same problem. So why do I complain? I might as well not. Just deal with it, right? Okay, I'm in the wrong folder. So it's one of these new folders that I have. And the name of it is pretty easy to find. I mean, I uploaded it to YouTube without issue. Give me one sec. I'm not prepared for these streams. You do know this already, right? Okay, good. Okay, so I got Chrisley suing... The hell did I just do? Oh, come on. That's not supposed to happen. Busy, you're fired, bro. You're fired. The other one. My normal one. Where is it? Did it disappear? I'm gonna have to reload my shit. I'm reloading. You get off of there. Get off of that soundboard for a moment. Let me fix the soundboard. Then there you go. Now, there we are. You really suck at that. Soundboard stuff. Stop talking over me. Let's see here. I just uploaded this. You know what? I'm going to play it from YouTube. Why the hell not? It's my channel. I have access to it. So I got to click this button. And then I click this button. And then I go into the studio. Shut up, Unirock. Then I go into the studio right here. I click this right here. And then I go to my uploads. There it is. Play it. I got you, Dub. All right, we're good. We got it. Okay, so here's part of it. Here's a little bit of the video that'll be on Unirock 2 tomorrow. And then, I'll be releasing videos regularly again. Now, I had a good morning. In fact, I had a great morning. It feels like it was a year ago. This morning feels like a year's passed since this morning. That is literally like the life-changing effects of this morning, but it was good. It was really good. So without further ado, without a further boo-boo-doo-doo, while I open up some of my programs and get this live stream started, take a sneak peek at my video for tomorrow. 17 minutes and 50. Am I crazy?
No, we won't. No, we won't. This is because of you. It wasn't because of me. I'm trying to call out to you. Going home.
Okay, we're back with Uni News talking about Todd Chrisley's lawsuit against Katie. She's filed a motion to dismiss. It starts off saying that he is a national personality, broadcaster, real estate mogul. Essentially, let's get through this garbage. He's a public figure. It says that Katie is a YouTuber, a journalist, our favorite journalist, focusing on celebrity news, entertainment stories. Now, the Twitterverse is going nutso over the fact that she called herself a journalist. Now, let's skip ahead so that, you know, you could kind of see what's in my video. You get the feel for it. Let's skip ahead a little bit, right?
Journalist versus public figure situation. That's what her entire defense was centered around.
This mental health community needs is motherfuckers out there like you making videos, judging people, and making fun of them.
The last thing that a community needs is people making videos and making fun of, like...
How dare you, Amy Duggar King? How dare you? And I hope you hear the anger and the frustration in my voice, because I'm passionate about people with mental health issues. Girl, how dare you?
Honestly, I don't mean to throw shade at Barbie, and Barbie's probably going to try to attack the living hell out of me for the community. Is a really hypocritical community. I just want to put that out there. And I know that that's not this channel. I know that's not, but anyway.
I was deceased. I was dying. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like...
I have to listen to Katie now.
How did she do this?
How'd she do what? How'd she do what?
I was laughing so hard.
Oh, hell.
It really amazes me how nasty people are to her simply because she's related to the Duggars.
Well, that's number one. Number two, it's crazy how nasty people are to her because of, like, you two talking. But anyway.
And I was like, why are you so mad at her for literally being related to the Duggars? You know what I find interesting? So the person that she was impersonating...
Mistake for me to be watching All Things Sassy. She probably hates my guts, right, peeps? They all hate my guts, so why do I care? Like, let them hate my guts. That's kind of funny. Anyway, keep going, All Things Sassy. Me like...
On YouTube, she keeps making video after video after video regarding this. But she made a video, she said...
is much better than Chrisley's just because they don't want to ever admit that anything could be good for her side. By the way, they don't have other content, and when they do try to upload to other content, they've been pigeonholed, right? So to where they don't get the type of views they want, and I think it causes them to go back to this content in that negative kind of way. You get me?
And how she made fun of her mental health when... For the record, it was never about mental health.
And it's only being done because of the desperation. So tomorrow is, as you've seen, my video, The Fall of the ANTIKJ Community, Part 1, but it's more just like an intro into it, right? It starts to show this kind of crack in the community. And now, I didn't center in on all of the examples that I could have pulled for the community of the ANTIKJs breaking apart, but I did pull the main ones that I thought embodied what was going on with the others. Because if it hasn't hit you yet, I do a kind of different thing on YouTube than a lot of people do that are around me, but not really. There are other YouTubers like me, but I try to look at communities and look at a community over a period of time, give you updates to what's going on there, and then make kind of like summation videos to sum up what happened. Because I used to do that with conspiracy communities, where I would debunk their conspiracy, and then I would do live streams looking at the way they reacted to having their conspiracy debunked. But when YouTube banned conspiracy stuff, you guys know I got pulled into this realm, and I started to kind of do a nightly live show, and I put down my analysis of communities and situations like this. Oh, by the way, if you want free rocks, you got to start typing now, because I'm going to give them away soon. So let me tell you in the chat. Free rocks, type or emoji to get them. Now, so, you know, that's the thing. When I always talk about YouTubers and what they're doing, I talk about how I talk about the YouTuber's point. I talk about the intent, okay? And what I'm meaning by that, you'll go in and say, well, you know, this YouTuber has this point they're making, or this is the intent behind what they do. It's almost impossible to figure that out about anti-communities or hate communities. And what is a conspiracy community more than a hate community? I mean, if you're not criticizing, if you're not a criticism community, which is based in opinion, and you're trying to go out and tell somebody a fact, and your fact is completely different than what the majority of people that look at the facts and draw together what's going on, you stand up and say, no, hold up. She actually is so bad she shouldn't be on YouTube. And this person didn't get SH'd, or whatever your claim is. If your claim goes against the grain, if it goes against the evidence that's there. See, let's look at the community, conspiracy community, the flurfy community. I don't want to say the keyword, I might get demonetized, but the flurfy community, the flat bootity earth community, the flurf community. They stand up and say, I know there's all this science and all this video evidence, but that's a conspiracy. We're right. So they have a fact. They have a point that they make, that they bring in their content and their streams and their videos. They bring you a fact that they say is different, is against the grain, is the opposite of what is actually true. 150,000 rocks loaded. A few seconds and I'll give them away. And what is an anti-community or a hate community? Remember, it's a community that instead of criticizing, they tell you and they judge. They tell someone how to act, and as opposed to offering an opinion or offering what you think is wrong and why you think it is. And that anti-community that I'm talking about. And why is the chat broken? Man, I just can't. It's moving really slow, but my chat's really moving really fast. Let me refresh it. I think it got messed up. Okay, good. It refreshed. All right, much better. All right, let me do the countdown for the rocks. So look, all I want to tell you is I don't know why some of you watch my content. I don't know why you come to my uploads. I don't know why you come to my show. And the payout's coming now. Paid out. If it's not that you already understand what I do and want to see that, because I'm really bringing you internet culture or internet history videos that I also in tandem live stream about the content that I'm going to upload to give a little more content, a little more information, a little bit of like you helping me, a little bit of me like learning a certain subject or looking at some clips, right? I know some of you also want me to bring in Irish too, and I want to. I just need to have some time to do it because this morning, you know, I had a personal thing to do. It took a lot more time than I thought it would, so I'm going to have to get Irish on the show in a couple days. But I still have to upload content, though. Without the content, there's no backing to this live stream. So unlike a lot of these live streamers that you see out there threatening people and blackmailing people and doing all this stuff, my main thing isn't the live streams. My main thing is the content that I do. So anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that when I make a video, I'm going to make it for a reason. Maybe not the live streams, but my uploads. And the fall of the anti-KJ community, I just played a video that I'm releasing in the morning where I'm looking at, you know, the anti-KJ community that we knew, that we ironically witnessed form. We didn't even mean to witness it. We were pulled into a subject of a channel breaking up by the people that wanted us to use the content that I do and use it to do content, to document the process, to document what was going on in that channel's breakup. And it turned into the anti-KJ community. And I know it's going to be crazy to some people, because yes, there of course were people who hated Katie, called out Katie before that happened, but it wasn't organized. There was an organization put forth by the channel that broke up, the consequence from it that moved forward, that ended up forming a structured anti-KJ community. And we've got these fools out there. They think that they just are the end all, the be all, the smartest people on the block. They've got the truth for you. They literally have the truth for you. They've figured things out. No, I'm not talking about Irish. They are figuring things out. They're giving you a truth. They're giving you what happened, right? But without any facts, with everything being a trust me, and then they're sitting there criticizing people without even being able to show facts to show that they have the truth, or that they have reality. And man, that's just so cute. It's so cute watching these people that are, by definition, literal conspiracy theorists. Of course, I'm talking about some of the cult members. And it's so cute watching them pretend as if we don't know what they've done over the last 2 years. Because that's the game. The weirdest thing about the communities we're looking at is that their game, so we've seen flurfs. We've seen Qs. We've seen pizzas. You know, these are literal groups of conspiracy nuts. We've seen those conspiracy nuts, First Amendment auditors. You go over to the Karens. You go, all these crazy people, these crazy conspiracy nuts. We've seen them all. And all of them embody the exact same claims, the exact nature of a claim, and the going against factual evidence. And why do they do it? Why do the conspiracy theorists do it? At the heart, and all of you know this isn't me educating you, but at the heart of why people follow a conspiracy is because it either can give them a community, it can give them content to make, it can give them money on YouTube, it can give them a belonging, it can satisfy this need that they have for a mystery, or for something that they can play a role in that they don't have in their life. And that's why a lot of people will look at facts yet still believe that the earth is shaped like a pancake. They'll look at facts that debunk that debunk this conspiracy, and they will fully believe in the Q-spiracy bullshit or the pizza bullshit, right? This is just established fact. And in the same regard, we have facts in this last story that some people are trying to deny or ignore. Now, ironically, they are ignoring those facts and living in their conspiracy world because it benefits them. Well, let me give you an example. Like a couple of those people out there, I know that we've been looking at Tina and EKC and these people that tried to, get into Nat and mess with Nat, right? They want you to believe that they had no clue what was going on. They had no clue what they were doing, and they had no clue about the effect. They had no clue that they didn't even mean to affect the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit. It was just an accident that they all affected the Toddy lawsuit. But in reality, we have the evidence that they knew they were affecting the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit. In fact, in reality, they did affect the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit, right? They tried to use a person that was testifying in that lawsuit and inject if you look at Nat, is her narrative anti-KJ? Right? Or is it more pro that group? Because there's a difference between the anti-KJ community and that little group of people. The little group of people needs to fulfill so if the anti-KJ community, all of them, they try, as much as sometimes they fight with each other a little bit, or they compete with each other, they want to bring people into their entire community. And just like I try to do, Nate, the lawyer, tries to do, all these other people. They try to bring people into their community and then encourage those people to go around looking at everything that's there. But that's not what these people in this group, this cult, that's not what they want. They want to bring them in and they want to get them as close as they can to themselves or their cult. They want to lock them down. And that, in my opinion, is a bit of a difference, and it honestly is a breach of communities. It's like a fence that's put up, or a gate. That's why we call it gatekeeping, where they try to have their thing gated off from the greater thing that they're involved in. They want all the benefits that everybody else gets, but the gate that they put up around their community gives them increased benefits. It helps keep people in, and it helps filter new people. When new people would be able, see, in a community, the reason why it's beneficial for a YouTuber like me or anyone else to say, hey, come in and hang out and watch all the creators around us, is because we're not trying to take somebody who wouldn't like us and then have them watch us or give them reasons to watch us. We're trying to take people that may like to watch us and have them watch us so they can tell if they want to watch us, right? You get me? It's counterproductive. But then again, looking at a fact, something that can be proven, and then lying about it is also counterproductive. And at that point, at that moment, in that base level, that is the thing that differentiates these types of people, this group of people, from, I think, normal communities and everybody else out there. The gatekeeping, the conspiracy theories, the point that inside their cult, there has to be a set of facts that you accept, that you will go out and tweet about or spread for them and fight for them. These facts, these things that they give you, cannot be proven with empirical data, but they are a promise. It's a guarantee. It's secret evidence. DM me. I don't talk about it publicly because, of course, they don't want anyone to see what they're saying, call him out for lying, and put the evidence in front of them, because that's severely damaged that group of people. I always said that in the beginning, didn't I? When we first got in this, I said, look, everybody chill. This is an easy thing. This is simple. Because when you come in, as long as you are on the side, the team that has facts and can prove what they're saying and, you know, can back up what they think, then if there is some kerfluffle, all you got to do is drop the evidence, and it destroys instantly the narratives that people will spend weeks or even months trying to build and sustain. So with that thought in mind, and we're going to talk about the entire anti-KJ community kerfluffle thing that's going on, but don't think that I haven't noticed, because I do take the time, you know, to pay attention, so that if a creator out there actually steps up, and, you know, because you recall a couple months ago, I was saying, look, the anti-KJ community is being dragged down by liars, people that threaten and dox and harass others, and fake screenshots, threaten to go kill people or go bully people and all this garbage. And those people being accepted in the anti-KJ community is what makes it to where that community is never going to go anywhere. In fact, the only where it's going to go is down. It's never going to go anywhere positive. So what's cool is that a branch of the people that were kind of floating around the anti-KJ community have stepped up and actually called that shit out. And in doing so, did some badass content that it stands on its own in a way. Because look, you walk into the anti-KJP community and you're going to find video after video after video after video that just doesn't make sense to a person who isn't in that community. If you don't know what's going on and you click some of those videos, and yeah, I'm guilty of this with some of my live streams over here, purposely, but still, you won't know what's going on. If you take someone, just pluck somebody out of society and have them watch an anti-KJ video, a random one that you search for and find, it's going to be a roll of the dice whether they can follow it from the beginning on, because, you know, that standard, that content, you know, that's built there, you know, and it's not a bad thing. in every situation, but it's like this sometimes for bigger YouTubers. They have so many memes, so many things like PewDiePie's audience understands about him that other people may not get. So it's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying that is happening. It is there. And one thing that's cool about the people that are stepping up right now, they actually have content that you go in and you watch it and you're like, I agree. This is provable. There are facts here. They are really doing their homework, and it's a good video. So what that means is, like, I can watch it from beginning to end, and actually it can carry me through a thought, right? And it's hard to be able to kind of put that into words, but that's something that the general anti-KJP lacks. And it's something that the cult completely lacks, because normal people do not just come in and assume that what this group of people are saying is true. That small little group, that cult of people. So we left off yesterday with me getting frustrated watching Nat talk and ramble on in a kind of a huge waste of time, a huge waste of energy. Literally nothing of value said whatsoever. The stream before that, I showed you some screenshots that really damaged the cult. And they'd been around for, admittedly, we said this, 2 months. But I hadn't showed them on stream. To my knowledge, I mean, that I recall. So I know there's some hardcore conspiracy nuts out there claiming that I did, but I'd like to see the clip because I truly don't remember doing it. I don't remember showing those. And seeing those screenshots, it carried forward to Nat coming out and saying what she said, in my opinion. And I do believe it caused what Nat did, because one of the first things Nat did was what? Address a video towards me and a couple other people. Ironically, to a group of people out there who actually are making progress, recording Nat, admitting to some things, and we'll talk about that at some point. I don't really want to just come out and burst anyone's bubble right now, but still. Susan, hey, no, thanks you for being you. Thank you, Susan. I love those little stickers. They're so cool, the little animated stickers, because they're fun to look at. They make the chat happy, right? Exactly, April. Well, yeah, and I do think that it went both ways. Nat was used by some people, sure, but she also used others, and she's trying to use us right now, and I don't like it. There are some people out there that believe they've solved the entire puzzle with Nat, which the thing you have to understand about Nat, and this is recorded literally in my video from just days ago, and you can find it in my previous content. I never said Nat was innocent. I said that I didn't believe her on the majority of things that she said, though that she was being given credence for complying. Why? Because if she was guilty, now that we had all of her stuff, it would only be a few months and we'd know. Well, guess what happened a few months ago? She gave over all of her stuff. It's been a few months since then, and now we're finding out that Saltsy announced that yesterday. Though, one thing is, I will talk to Irish, and hopefully even have Irish on, so that, you know, she can break down everything. But I think is Irish a she. I've always called Irish a she, but I don't know why. Someone told me that Irish was a she. But the thing that I don't like is how much of that information came from Nat, because Nat lies all the time. Everything Nat says, you just have to look at what Nat says, look at the evidence, and then try to make up your mind to whether it fits. You can't just trust her. So if she comes out and says Katie does something, we can't trust it. And we have to look back to when Katie debunked Nat early on for talking to her. And then when she comes out and says that a lobster roll addicted individual did something, then we have to say the same thing and just compare it to the evidence. And I will tell you now that all of the evidence still sets right where it is. Nothing's changed, other than the fact that Nat is not going to be given that credence anymore when it comes to her being either involved or being used, right? Obviously, it was both. She was used and involved to a heavy degree. And one thing I think that a lot of people on the outside just don't get is that some people act like they're going to figure the truth out or something like that, or come to the truth or realize the truth in things. And that, again, is dangerous if you don't have facts to back it up. So I don't know what facts are there. Like, I have to assume that there's stuff coming from the FBI, because Saltsy said there was, and that they have more than just her own admission, because it could just as easily be that Nat, when she changes into alter 14, alters 6, 8, 9, and 14 all don't believe that they have DID, all believe this, that, and this, and that's why it'd be dangerous to use Nat's admission to draw the conclusion. You have to use what Nat says, compare it to the evidence, and then see if there's something you can gain from it. All we can stand by is that we have that group of people, and that group is the people that Nat named. And ironically, the people Nat named are people who have been in DMs. It's not that Nat just named them. It's that Nat also, no, she didn't take screenshots and give them out. She gave her accounts over to Saltsy and authorities, and then Katie got a hold of a lot of it too, because of course her lawyers need it for the things that they find that are relevant to her. And that stuff have to go to Katie in case she wants to file charges or a lawsuit or whatever you'd say, right? Go to authorities. So comparing the group of people she named to her DMs, they're all there. And there is one scenario that we should have talked about last night, so let's wipe it off the table. All of you remember what it is, right? It's the McCrazy Instagram drunken kerfluffle. So we'll talk about that after I show you something from Twitter that happened today that I want your opinion on, and we're going to vote in the live chat. Okay, so what we've got here is me advertising his GoFundMe. Ha 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 ha, just kidding. Wake up! Ha 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 ha, just kidding. Izzy, it doesn't work after you fail to do it the first time. You've got to do it the first... Yes, you've got to pay attention. No, if I'm boring, then quit. You don't need your crack money tonight, do you? Then pay attention. I'm not advertising this lie-filled, insane rant of a defamation fest. Because that's what it is. It's a literal... Ironically, I think he's trolling because on the front of it, it says defamation law. And if you open the GoFundMe, you're going to learn exactly what defamation is. It's the ramblings of a madman who went insane after he was accused of SH and kicked off his show. We all know that's why he got kicked off. We all know that if he wasn't, that SH incident didn't happen, he wouldn't have been. And he's lost his mind because of it. So I've got a question for you. I'm not just showing you this. You know, I did report to you when it went down, either on Twitter Live or here. So I'm going to be nice enough to update my reporting. It came back up. Though he did lose. It went down because he offered a loan. He was trying to loan money to people. He was saying if you donate over a certain amount, which was not that high, it was like 100 or 80 or something, that when he won, he was going to pay you back. I should have you play a laugh track there because you... Yes, I would love to have a laugh track there. It's button 14, and if you don't know that by now, you don't need to be working here. I'm going to fire you again. It's about time. It's been a good minute since I fired you. That was months ago. It was not yesterday, because I don't remember doing it. Now, the thing I want you to tell me in the live chat, and I'm going to do a poll, and if you want to tell me what you think without typing in the poll, just tag me at Rockalot. He says, louder. Thank you. His GoFundMe is back up. Same link. Please let people may want to help. No? Is that sentence proper? It isn't, right? Okay, good. Yo, it's really bad. I know that you've written things better than this when you're at the end of a crack bender at 7 a.m. when you haven't been asleep the night before. I know. So please let people may want to help know. Is he speaking Yoda? He is. Let me speak it in Yoda. I think that would work. No, you can speak it in Yoda after me. So please let people may want to help know. It was perfect. It was. No, I don't believe that you can do a Yoda voice. I can barely understand what you're saying right now. Well, sure, you're welcome to try. Shut up, Busy. That was horrible. That was just horrible. That was a really bad Yoda voice. So, okay, first off, can we get past the you must either be completely out of your mind on rum and coke or dumb first sentence and move on here? And only if they want to and can afford to, period. I'm going to just ignore this first sentence. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese. I don't really know many from the community she in, but you all do. I shouldn't have yoded that last part, but I couldn't help myself. The question, and it's getting warm down here. I got to take these off. The question is he not trying to tell the people that follow him that they are in communities? I don't really know many people from the communities she is in, but you all do. So this is him saying he wants to put this GFM, this GoFraudMe, in front of Katie's communities that she's in, and he needs the people who follow him, who he has cultivated, as he's admitted many times. He has cultivated them to be from those communities that Katie's in, and he wants those people to... you get what I'm saying here? Let me pull my live chat over here, because it was on my other screen in this new spot I have it sitting. If he used proper grammar, no one he's soliciting would understand. Jennifer, that's a good one, and I really do like. I really like. I'm gonna have to steal that from you. I'm probably gonna use that, just so you know, in one of my next streams. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is, and I this is all that this could mean. And I'm making a point. We're not going to... Uni talks about me all the time because he's obsessed with me. That's just his narcissism. He still thinks he's a superstar. You know that chick from the 2000s? Superstar! And it was like the dumbest character that ever came out of SNL. Yeah, he thinks he's a superstar. That's pretty good, Busy. Really good joke you put on the teleprompter there. Good job. I'm giving you a raise. One bag of crack. Okay, a quarter of... I don't know how much they cost. You're the expert. This is my issue. Follow me because I want your opinion, please. That's the only reason I'm asking you this, and we're going to move on. Now, we're talking about the anti-KJ community and the KJ community. And this dude is trying to sue Katie for defamation for what, $50,000? And Katie is suing him for $250,000 for a harassment campaign against her over a period of 2 years, right? And how are his lawyers? He can't have lawyers. If you recall, his co-troll has admitted that the Truth Sleuth video was not of his lawsuit. It was over his lawsuit's draft. Remember that lawsuit where they said he's in the stage of discovery and nobody's seen anything filed anywhere, and they tried to make excuses for why you can't find it filed anywhere, which you don't see it filed anywhere because it hasn't been filed. It was hip pocket service. So it hasn't even registered to the court yet, but he's in discovery, which is a lie leading everybody watching to believe that this is going on and they can donate and they can help because it's real and all this garbage. But it's a draft, as the Goblin admitted. I don't really know many people from the communities that Katie, the only she he could be talking about is Katie. The only person who's mentioned in here, the only person this has to do with is Katie. It's the only she here. My GoFundMe is up, same link. So please let people may want to help know, and only if they want to and can afford to, because he is not academically educated. He's not even high schooly educated to a point where he can write. I don't really know many from the community she's in, but you all do. So the question that I'm going to ask you, isn't he targeting her literal business audience and trying to get them to read the defamation-laced thing and give money to him to sue her by that sentence? Got me? Is he targeting Katie's communities? He literally, I don't even know why I'm going to ask you, because he says he is. So I guess the question should be, is it bad for his case to have targeted Katie's communities? Because doesn't this prove he's harassing her, constantly targeting her, defaming her? Because this is full of fucking lies that I've literally debunked how much of it with video clips showing that it's not true. Right? The VAWA thing is not true. The thing, So let me do this poll for you guys. Is the text at, I was going to say, is the sentences, or is the words up at, is the paragraphs up at the top good for his case? But because these barely constitute English in any way due to the sentence structure, I'm going to ask it, is the text at the top of the screenshot good for his case or very bad for his case? ? Because it ain't, if it's bad for his case, it ain't just bad. It's very bad. So option 1 is good. Option 2 is bad. And here we go. I'm going to ask you, then I'm going to read the chat, see what you think. I want you to tell me whatever it is you think about what I just showed you so we can move on. Got me? Let's go. By the way, anybody who supports this is an absolute ding-dong. An absolute ding-dong. Just, man, you need help. You need help if you're supporting this. All right. Busy is chasing the dragon during the stream again. He said as long as the dragon is crack, he's chasing it. Since then, we've been accused of being blinded by love for uni. So I'm not sure if we should kick the shit out of someone or have a group hug, lol. Desi says, he is so pathetic. When will he stop thinking about WOACB? I don't know. On his Twitter page, I had to look. I was told to. And what do you think I saw but him attacking her repeatedly? He thinks if he retweets what someone says on his Twitter, that it doesn't count. That's what he thinks. He thinks it just doesn't count, when in reality, it matters what he's retweeting, right? What he does is he goes out and finds literal lying trolls that are just out there, either just trying to act like they're better than her or act like whatever it is, right? They're not criticizing her. They're just saying something like, oh my God, she thinks that she can say those words and act that way. Not when my judgmental ass who is better than her is here to say something. There's no criticism, right? So he retweets these trolling things on it. So his timeline becomes nothing but a defamatory troll fest against her and a couple atheist people. And that's about it, you know? How is he not going to owe her more than $250? Like, how is he not fucked? And is he doing this to entertain us all? Is he just doing all this to try and fucking get everybody, like, get all the lulz he can, give all the lulz and all the, he wants to have like DSP, Dark Side Phil level videos out there, right? I mean, Jesus, dude, literally no one can look at this and think that it's good, that his case is good alone, because it's debunked instantly. You know, there's been lawyers that have looked at it and said it is just a joke. It's just a joke. It's just going to be destroyed. Anyway, Navy is our captain for a reason, folks. He's the ideas man. If he used proper grammar, no. Oh, I read that one, but that was a good one. Macademic spelling, very true. Who said that? Jolson, exactly. Macademic spelling. Me too, Titan. Yes, I'm sure he made the PR rounds in July. That joke of a dude. Yes, Ronnie, very true. Susan says, "Go fraud me, lol." Well, that's what we're dealing with. Go fraud me. We used it in Aussie Navy. I'm guessing you're the king of the shits. That's like a high-ranking non-com as opposed to a low-ranking commission. Gotcha. Oh, what do we got? Oh, let me see. Good to see you. Hey, madame. No, good to see you. Thank you. Titan says, if you didn't catch it, the interview on James's Tired's channel is hilarious. Hit every meme. 4 years of college. I know PhDs. Nuke school. IR a philosopher. I was told about some of it. He admitted to some things there that just completely blew all of these big lies he's been telling for a few months out of the water. And it's like, does he forget? But then I remember something that I was told that really does explain why this is all happening. And I'm about to get there. So let me get through the chat so I can get there here. If I skip something, you guys say, you have to retype it for me. I'm not trying to miss anything. I think that's how it's written. I think he's talking about the hate community. How does this guy have a lawyer? Number one, he can't, in my opinion, because he's already had his co-host admit to everybody that it's just a draft. And if you look at the go look at the lawsuit and ask yourself if it's a draft. It doesn't appear in Minnesota law anywhere, in the courts anywhere. The name of a lawyer and everything else on it that would tell you whether it's been filed or not or officiated has a big black box around it. And that's why, of course, he hasn't put anything out at the courthouse and taken this next step yet. He thought he was going to make a deal with Katie. Katie said, fuck you, I'm suing you for $250,000 and I'm going to own you. Then he came back and said, oh, okay, I guess I have to go to court and file this, but just hasn't. Instead, he's been pushing this GoFundMe, having it go down where he blames the trolls, but then always comes out and admits that it wasn't the trolls, it was him for offering a loan in it or putting Katie's name in it or whatever the hell it was, you know. And by the way, I don't believe him half the time. I really think a lot of this is a big lie, but we're not going to talk about this forever. Let's get to the bottom of the chat real quick. You know, I would like to watch it. I do think it would be fun, and it would be fun for the memes to watch that interview and laugh about it. Not going to do it tonight. Maybe we'll do it a different night this week when there's nothing going on. But, you know, I want to. In fact, I got just a couple more and I'll get there. Would go along with literally anything as long as it somehow might prove Katie bad. I know, it's so fucking tired. It's so tired by now. It's even more tired than the Kyle Curtis bullshit, right? I put a dictionary in a blender and came up with better sentences. I believe it. Let me hit my vape real quick because that was a good one. So, of course, we are talking about the anti-KJ community literally right now. Right now. No joke. With that. Because he is the craftsman, the founder. He's the God, King, Emperor of the anti-KJ community. The anti-KJ community was everywhere that Katie went. Even if it was a teen mom group, even if it was like somewhere else, somehow he would be there. This is early on. He's admitted to this. He's admitted to tracking her back like, what, 6 years or 5 years before she started on YouTube. So this is my point, just so we can get this off of here and move on. You can't sue somebody for defamation and then run a fundraiser where you admittedly try to target her communities and audiences to get their money, then to harass her with a lawsuit. You can't do that unless maybe it's you who should be sued for defamation and harassment. Now, you know, we had to start talking about him again when he filed on Katie. I broke down Toddy's lawsuit. I broke down Chrisley's. I promised you I would break down Chrisley's. And then if he sues Katie, oh God, if Uni doesn't cover it, he's being biased because he doesn't like Steve. But then in the same respect, if I do cover it, it's only because I'm biased against him, right? So at some point, you just have to not give a fuck. I'm covering what I need to cover to be able to show you the fall of the anti-KJ community. He may not believe that. His cult and his cronies may not believe that. EKC will believe anything because she's just a straight conspiracy theorist nut job. But the point is, that's the truth. This is the fall of the anti-KJ community, summed up in a big old lawsuit, big old Gofundme written out. It has this story of defamation, the story of harassment, because there's a fact that literally this all rests upon that I don't think even the cult would disagree with, and that is if Katie wouldn't have accused him of SH, this wouldn't exist, and a massive amount of the channels and people and Discord servers, Facebook groups, Instagram groups, and other things that not criticize her but harass Katie would not exist. I don't understand how some of the platforms allow some of these people to do what they do. I just saw that there was an account that followed me on Twitter, and when you looked at it, it was just doing nothing but obsessing over Katie's kid in all these tweets. And I mean the recent ones, not something that you had to scroll to find. And it promised it was starting a YouTube channel and all that, and it's going to start making money off of covering Katie on YouTube. So what I'm saying is, you got to really ask yourself, how has he been defamed? He doesn't have the non-sect community. That left him a long time ago. He doesn't have any other community. You know, someone said something genius to me today. Because what will happen is you get so caught up in things, you forget the simple answer. You forget the most obvious thing. And I don't mean because of this case. I mean in general. Toddy Westbrook was suing Katie for defamation. Todd Chrisley, then him. She goes back and forth with people, right? What is defamation? What's the easiest way to understand it? In one sentence, how can you understand defamation? You are being defamed. D, or downgraded, or lessered, or reduced. Fame. So in order to be defamed, you literally have to have fame. Now, saying that, it doesn't mean you have to have the kind of fame that Johnny Depp has, or Angelina Swoley has, or that guy, that Mexican guy where all the memes come from of the dude laughing like, you get me? Like, he's famous. In order to be defamed, first, you must have some fame. So, you tell me right now, and I mean on the most basic level, and let me go ahead and close this poll and look at what you guys said. Is the text at the top of the screenshots for his case or very bad for his case? So we got about 11% trolls in here and 87 not. Because this is, I'm just going to go ahead and answer the question for anyone who trolled and voted no. This is bad for him. It literally says, I don't know many people from the community she is in. She can only, what, is he going to come out and lie and say she means Bette Midler when this is his case with Katie? Oh, who's the my truth for what YouTuber? Oh, that's Katie. Okay. The only she being involved. But you all do, talking to these people that follow him, right? So anyway, we know he's defamed Katie. I mean, it's just factual. He's harassed her, he's defamed her, he's attacked her, he's lied about her, attacked her kid, doxed her, made excuses for doxing her, all these things. He lied about Cheshire being doxed by her. Proof was shown to him that she gave Katie permission to use her name and that her name was public on a Facebook profile linked to her YouTube, and still to this day they say it. Just an example. That is where you're trying, why do you say those things? Why do you speak those things? Why does he lie? Why doesn't he follow the facts and evidence? Why continually repeating lies so that he can create the narrative that he constantly has to go by that forms the basis for the cult around him? Because they also have to believe those lies, perpetrate those lies, and it's what makes them hardcore conspiracy theorists. You got something that proves something factually, like a recorded video of him from earlier on, them saying something happened back then, showing it didn't happen, but they still lie about it. They are defaming Katie. But they're not just defaming Katie. They're doing something even, I think, worse than just defaming her. Now, this is going to still be included under the guise or under the word or whatever you want to say of defaming her. Let me just try to say it like this. Imagine that Katie is a pie. Her not Katie as herself, but her brand is a pie. Okay? And are you ready, Busy? We haven't done it in a while. You got the billboard of doom prep. It takes you that long to say no? Really? So the anti-KJ community, what they're doing, they're not just defaming her. I mean, they're defaming her, but to a greater degree than what you think. Because they are literally... Oh, hold on, I gotta lower that. They are defaming her. But usually I would use the example of a vampire. But we're going to use the example of a pie. So what they do is they say lies over and over and over and over and over again. They can have the evidence put right in front of them that proves they're lying. You would think they would correct themselves. VAWA, all those other things, video evidence of him showing that he did say the Medi-Cal thing and Katie repeated it. Though, they are repeating those lies in order to defame, and they want to build a giant pile of those lies and throw them at her through the repetition through these pro-cult channels that are pushing the narrative. Now, this is ironically what Nat did, and that's why, if you didn't know, we're talking about this, and because of the fall of the anti-KJ community. That's what Nat did. When you hear Nat talk, no matter whether she's talking about Katie or she's talking about them, she is spreading none other than the cult narrative. She doesn't go in and start from a place that someone who is not in their group, like in with them, would say. She starts exactly where anyone that's been around them, hearing their narratives, very complex narratives in some situations, she's repeating them perfectly. She knows their narratives by heart. If it was a song, she could sing the entire concert, all right, for the cult's narratives. Why do they build these repetitions into these giant narratives? Well, they do it to defame Katie. So once they've filled this up and built their narrative completely, they've got a plate, but it's empty. They've got their narratives. They've got everything that they need here in order to obtain the goal of what they're doing. But unfortunately, they just have an empty plate that they've built, and it's the narrative. What do they want to do with the plate of their narratives, of their defamation? They want to take a piece of Katie's pie and put it on their plate. Okay? And how do they do that? Through social media and YouTube, and by putting these lies, putting their narratives in front of Katie's community and communities around Katie, so that they can take a viewer of Katie's, whip them up into a hatred of her, whether what they say is true to get them mad. Well, like, let's use the example that Katie doxed Keemstar. Some of them are going to say, Katie, that's bad to dox him. But they're still going to watch her and support her and say, well, you better not do it anymore, because, like, if you do it a lot, I'm probably going to call you out and not watch you anymore. But if you go in and you tell that you doxed the Shesh liar and the EKC liar and these other people, and that you defame Steve, and then you doxed Keemstar, they're going to try to whip these people up and get them to turn, so that what do they do after they're angry with Katie? One of two things. They either go find someone else to watch, or if they actually stay and listen and hang out with these guys, they become the anti-watcher of Katie. Okay? And when these guys take a viewer of Katie and eventually put that viewer and put that narrative there and put the pie, what is happening? Katie, this right here is the fame she built on YouTube, and they are defaming her onto their plate here. Now, how is it that they do this, but others, like other YouTubers out there who talk about Katie, like let's use Angelica Oles. Yes, Angelica doesn't get things right a majority of the time, builds narratives just like Katie does, and then blocks criticism in the same way Katie does too. But let's just use Angelica Oles as an example, okay? She's a big T channel. When she talks about Katie, is she defaming Katie? She could defame Katie, but the majority of the time she's not. She's taking a situation, explaining it to people. She's laying it all out. She's getting it all ordered. She spends a lot of time, like, you know, figuring out what's going on. Basically, either reading a website, reading a blog, a Reddit post, or talking to someone who can give her the information, making her notes, doing her thing, and then records herself breaking down the situation. People are watching Angelica, if it's Katie, or if it's someone else, or if it's this other person. So there isn't a defamation. She has content. She has what she does to draw the audience to her, to draw the people to her in order to watch. So no, Angelica, unless it's a specific situation where she does defame her outside of what I'm saying, by her base content, isn't defaming Katie. Now, in the same way, Drama and Opinions isn't. Even though I had to correct Drama and Opinions in my video tomorrow, I don't like doing that because I like Drama and Opinions, but she does make a statement that's not true in her video, so I just corrected it. No shade, no fighting, no anything. Because she seems cool enough to where you can actually do that without a big fight, right? So anyway, I truly don't think that'll happen with her. But the difference here is that if you look every week, every day at what they're doing, do they do this once to her? No, they've built an entire operation off of doing this to her. And it goes all the way back to my original videos on the targeted harassment campaign against Katie. Now, what I think happened is that when he left Nonsec, he noticed that he's going to have to try and take the audience from Kyle. And have you ever seen the underpants gnomes from South Park? I'm going to try to play this clip. I don't think I'll get struck for it. I got to play this clip. Okay. Underpants, gnomes, and I want their plan. So let me search for the plan, because I bet it'll come up. Here we go.
Damn, dude, this place is huge. Yeah, it's almost as big as Cartman's ass. No, it isn't, you guys.
I really miss watching South Park. I'm going to have to start watching it again.
This is where all our work is done. So what are you gonna do with all these underpants that you steal? Collecting underpants is just phase 1.
Okay, phase 1. Here we go. And I'm sorry, but I have to add commentary. Phase 1 is collecting underpants. So let's go. Phase 1, collect underpants. Okay? Collect underpants.
Phase 1, collect underpants. So what's phase 2? Hey, what's phase 2? Phase 1, we collect underpants. Yeah, but what about phase 2? Well, phase 3 is profit, get it? I don't get it. You see, phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2, phase 3, profit. I get it. No, you don't.
No, you don't, fat ass. I'm sorry, I had to complete that. So phase 1 is to defame Kyle or Katie or whoever he's targeting, Aaron Ra. Phase 3 is to be able to make money from the aftermath of the phase 1. And what is phase 2? They had no idea. They didn't know what they were doing. They thought they were going to make a new show. They thought they were going to take Kyle's audience. And this is just literally recorded. So don't even act like this is some kind of fucking lie or Uni's telling stories on me again. Take the fucking audience by telling them how Kyle stole, even though you admitted he didn't before, which is crazy. And then go in and do a show was phase 2. And then you would be able to just maintain and replace the show that went away, right? Now, the problem was there, very quickly, I think they realized they couldn't do a show. They didn't know what they were going to do. And so every day they told themselves, we're going to do non-sec on this channel, and we're going to make profit on phase 3. But when they got in time to go, they didn't prep. They didn't make thumbnail. They didn't write the show. They didn't invite the guests. They didn't get the content ready. They didn't pick a topic. So when it became time to do a show that night, did they end up doing that? No, they ended up doing what? Just attacking Kyle for almost, 7 months? And then the issue happened where Katie accused him and he started to attack her and he mixed it up. He'd go back and forth between them. Then if I did a video, then he'd bitch about me. Someone else, he'd bitch about them. Aaron Ra would pop up and he'd try to mix philosophy in. What's my point? That same process of find somebody, Kyle, and convince the people around Kyle that this is happening and then do our thing, profit, make money, is the same thing happening here. But instead of it being Kyle, it ended up turning out, due to Katie's accusation, of course, it ended up becoming Katie. And so phase 1 was defame Katie. Phase 2 would have been entertain the people that you got around you with attacking her and putting her down and talking about her. And then phase 3 was profit. So with Kyle, where he didn't have a phase 2, with Katie, he did have one. You really can't do much content on Kyle. Kyle didn't talk about himself. He wasn't a lolcow. He gave a show to YouTube that people liked watching. And he would have dumpster fires where lolcows would sit and fight with each other, like Red's the lolcow versus a Flurfer the lolcow. So when Katie came in, the sad thing here is that he doesn't have a relationship with her. He didn't have anything there. And after some time went by, the other people that didn't like her started to hang out with them and form into Facebook groups. And other people started to pop up on YouTube, allied with them, helping him attack her and go at her. We all watched it happen for, a year? And those other channels that popped up around him who were allied with them, They all kind of popped into a community. Some people that were out there already yelling at Katie came in too. Others saw that it was bad and kept their distance, and they've been doing pretty good the whole time, and they're still doing their thing. But at the core of it, again, there's this channel called Radiant Brit, and many channels like her. And can you really say bad things about them because they gossip about Katie? They gossip about the tea community? No, because they are makeup artists that want to talk gossip and drama because they are women and a part of a community where that's accepted, where that behavior is accepted in real life, and that behavior is a big part of their real life, and therefore it's accepted online. But it's a little different when you've got the situation that's been trying to be hidden this whole time of SH. And that's why I think that there is an evil, I call it evil, but we could just reduce it to negative. But there is this positive, and I don't want to say it's positive. It's not positive at all. It's just excusable, okay? Which you can take an E and make it into a plus pretty easily, right? So it's just excusable. It's not, it would be the positive side, but it's just reduced to being excusable. Then you've got the negative side. And the problem here is that it's based on something that's really fucked up. It's based on something that's really fucking bad. It's based on one of two things. Either one, this happening, or two, someone lying about this happening. Unfortunately, those of us that were there know what happened. Many of you do too. No sense in going into it. From this event, from this thing happening, this is where two different branching paths started. Okay? You had the anti-KJ community that already existed and was just chilling, a pretty small thing before Toddy came in, if you recall. And then you had we'll just say the lobster cult, all right? The lobster cult. And the branching path happened where both of these, like you had these groups that ended up branching together due to the lies and the dubiousness, the fact that he had a fluffed subscriber number, and it all went into this line where they ended up mixing together with the Toddy chaos. Toddy brought absolute chaos to anyone who's trying to analyze what's going on. Toddy brings a huge swath of people, at least 200,000 or 100,000. You know, she gets what, 500,000 per view, or 200,000 to 500,000 per video she uploads, even after being gone this whole time. So, I mean, she's had this community and all that drama that makes them search for her anytime she shows up anywhere. And therefore, it injected a massive amount of search results, people trying to come in and see what was going on. And it made pure chaos that kind of, without, even if they wanted it to happen, we all saw that it merged these two together. And that's why, in my opinion, it's so bad that now you've got this community just, let's do a graph, okay? So let's do one of those social blade graphs. I'd say the anti-KJ community was up here really high for a while. Like, people were getting like 5,000, 10,000 views just talking about her. And then if they did it in some other content, they'd get 1,000. But after all this stuff happened recently that I won't go into, it started to crash down. And I think that's why it's really good that right now, at the fall of this community, because it's natural, by the way. It has to do with the lawsuits and the realization by people that they are bullshit lawsuits being thrown against Katie, because the people throwing those lawsuits are just fucked up people. And I mean, you're welcome to believe they're great lawsuits and that they're great people filing them, but, you're going to be pretty much on your own there for the most part. That is, unless you're in the cult. Though now you've got this community that was branched together, and thank God there are some creators that are branching away from it. So we now are getting another kind of different anti-KJ community, or a new anti-KJ community. It's a different group of people where they've shaved off the worst kind of defamers, harassers, liars, and attackers out of that community now, which literally still leaves the lobster cult chilling, and it's really reduced, but it's there. And And I think that it's good that that's happening, but what are we going to call them? Like this new offshoot of the anti-KJs that are willing to stand on their own. They're not going to sit here and say, you know, we're going to excuse the fact that we have to team up with someone doing some really fucked up stuff because we hate her, and this is the only person we have right now who's willing to attack her, go at her, file a lawsuit, lie about her, or do whatever. Like, do we come up with a new name for the new anti-KJs? Or do we just stick with the anti-KJs and keep calling the lobsters the lobsters? I'm not sure. But the point here is that however you want to see it, whether you see it as the group splitting, whether you see it as a new community forming, or the old community just kicked out these intruders, there is a different situation here now. And I don't want to go into it because I would have to play videos that talk about a few creators that I'm not going to talk about because they did threaten me, like on video, like I have the clips. So, you know, they're not going to be able to say they didn't. And I think that that's just really, even though like it's a little, let's say like, I don't want to say it's late because it's not late. It's just because it needed to happen no matter what. But I'm glad they got good views and a good turnout and a good response from doing it, because it doesn't matter what community you're in on YouTube. If that community entertains this kind of stuff, as we've seen in the past, it's going to end up happening to everybody and anybody. It's like at first you might say, well, you know, Katie does that dumb shit to people, and these people are only doing this dumb shit to Katie, so fuck it. Let it go. Let it ride. Though if that does happen, it's only going to be what? A few months or something, a few weeks before they start, you know, taking their vengeance out on others. And do you think they're going to reduce themselves to not doxing? I don't think so. Well, then provably they didn't. So where do we sit now with this whole thing? Well, I think there's some good content being made out there by this new community. I also think that we're in for the biggest lull suit that the internet's ever seen if Minnesota actually has a court system that functions. I mean, we're still sitting here with both sides saying they've filed lawsuits and that the lawsuits are real and that they kind of like have to happen now. But at the same time, we can't see them. We can't see any proof of them. And do we even have Katie's yet? We don't, do we? I don't think we have Katie's because maybe Katie just got Katie's. So it's like, wonder when we're going to see that. You know what? The best place to go is the live chat. You guys know more than I do. Let me see here. Let me do a really advanced poll. I want to see how advanced I can make this poll. How long will it be before we see Katie's lawsuit in response to her latest lawsuiter? Will it be 1 month? Will it be 2 months? Hopefully it'll let me add like 5 options. 3 months? I'm going to add as many as it'll let me. Here we go. Let's test this bad boy. Oh, shit. Well, maybe it'll only let me do 4 because I got 4. So take a vote on that, and then I'll try to run another where I put out more stuff. Let's see here. I have some videos I want to show you, but I can't stream late tonight, so I don't know if I'm going to have time, but we'll see. So make sure you vote for me real quick, and then I'll pull up some other shit. I just don't think that the people who are stepping up are really part of an anti-KJ community. I think they're part of something more than that. I think they finally formed their own thing. And we'll have to see where it goes, but you know, you got to give kudos to those people that are willing to step up and do the hard work. And I know you guys are sitting there wanting me to go dive in. I'm not doing it. I could make it pretty fun. We'd have a good time if I did dive in, but I'm not doing it. You know, if I do jump in the mix, it's going to blow up into this giant thing. It'll be this big old fucking, you know, battle and all this live streaming and garbage going on. But unfortunately, the next time we get into a situation where, you know, people are wanting me to jump in and do some commentary, do some responses and shit like that, and the other side isn't someone who's threatening to dox somebody every other night, I promise you, I'll jump in. But with this, I'm actually impressed at the people that stepped up and did what they did, because they did put targets on their back by really shady fuckers that are willing to threaten and all. Navy, I'd love to have you come in, buddy. I didn't see you in staging. I would have pulled you in earlier, man. Sorry about that. Navy's back, baby. What's up, man?
Oh, not much, Bubba. What's going on?
Not much. I was kind of alluding to what like a few other creators did, calling out the doxers, harassers, and just blackmailers and shitty people that have invaded their community, and they called them out recently. And I was just trying to, without mentioning things so that I don't give attention to the doxers on the other side of that little battle that's going on, I was trying to give as much kudos as I can to those people. I made a little busy picture today to try to give a little bit of a thank you. I think it went pretty well. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Navy, let me ask you, because I did a vote earlier. Ironically, man, you're going to be coming in with us talking about Steve again for a segment. So I don't know if you're happy or mad about that, because he did something pretty amazing. So I'm going to read it to you. Tell me what you think off the top of your head here. You were probably watching earlier. So he says, my GFM is back. So please let people may want to help know, and only if they want to and can't afford to. I don't really know many from the communities she's in, but you all do. Now, at first, this wasn't shocking. I didn't even notice it. I didn't even think about it. Because I saw that somebody threw it in the Discord whenever it happened, which was what? 3 days ago. But then, when people paid a little closer attention to it, they were like, oh shit, this is really bad, because the second sentence is literally saying that he wants people to share it in communities that she is in. Wouldn't that equate to defamation in some way, or am I crazy?
Well, I think what
harassment
it does equate to is an aspect of him like harassing her again, right? So he tried in the beginning with his whole GoFundMe to get people to get a hold of like bigger YouTube creators and all kind of stuff to promote what he was doing. And now, because it's not working, because his GoFundMe is pretty much kind of falling on its ass, even after he put it back up, is that he knows, and we talked about this before, that there are, within the anti-KJ crowd, there's two camps, right? There's those that you know, agree with Steve and, you know, support him and follow him and all this kind of stuff, and there's those that don't like him, right? So I think he's kind of hoping that they'll get it out there to those communities and get a hold of some of those who don't necessarily like him, but dislike her so much that they're willing to help him, right?
That's genius. That's really a genius take. Maybe that is what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to get it in front of new people, but he's trying to spin it as if it's normal to do that. Because it's not normal. He really is like pushing his luck with whatever judge he gets. This would be the first thing I'd throw up there in front of the judge as evidence.
Well, I think one thing he may realize that there's people out there that don't like him, but he needs them because he needs the cash, and he's hoping he can play upon the fact that they dislike her more than they dislike him, and if they think that he really has a chance at like taking her down, that they'll look past their disagreements with him and support, you know, and give money toward it. So because he's not making any money off this, like you look at, like, I think someone was talking about it in Discord earlier, like it's falling on its ass. Like he's not making, you know, the money, even a half or whatever that he was looking to get. He's not making anything off of this.
Does anyone know what he's at? Do we have any idea?
I think it was close to, like, last I saw, I think it was like kind of close to like 4,000, but that was about where it kind of stopped. He had
Well,
that one big influx of $1,000, and then after that, I saw like little bitty donations, but nothing big.
Well, here's the deal though. You can't include the big ones because we know because of like some of his buddies what they've done in the past, and I've literally seen it with my own eyes. So you literally cannot include the big ones. So I don't include the big ones when I look at his thing.
Yeah.
So he's probably at a
James
couple
just
thousand
said
without him.
He's at 3710 right now, and so if you take out the 1,000 that was pushed in by one person, then you're looking at like roughly 2,700.
Yeah, I think it's about half that has really, about half of it's really big ones, and the other half isn't.
Well, and the funny thing was, the person that put that 1,000 in donated several more times, like 100 to like 200, I think, and like between $50 and like $200 a couple different times after that 1,000 got dropped. So, if it is it's one person that's like kind of pushing a little bit, and I wonder who it is.
I have an idea. One of his buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Probably his own money he's routing into him. Who knows? Well, look, the whole point of me talking about the fall of the anti-KJ community, let me sum that up, is just to say that, I don't think that the channels out there that are going to stick on hating Katie every day are going to do well, because a lot of people are just done with it. They're just tired of it. They're like, listen, we know what Katie does. We know what she is, and we're fine talking about the things Katie does when she does them. But for this thing that's going on where it's just people trying to hit her with stuff and judge her, and act like they're better than everyone else, and that they're smarter than everybody else, and that they're more moral than everybody else, and all this shit, like the EKCs and the Tinas of the world, that shit's just gonna nosedive. It already is nosediving, but it's just going to more. Now, another thing is, with this thing that's going on between T-Spiracy and a few people and some of the other people around her, I think it's really awesome that they did this. I think it separates them from that anti-KJ community and that group and those other kind of shitty creators. And it shows that, they're trying to take this seriously, which, I mean, YouTube. Because when you have creators out there who do threaten and dox and just sit and call someone a bitch 50 times, or make fake screenshots and sexually harass someone and lie on someone, or lie about someone's military record, it's normal. It's even normal for conspiracy theorists to do the same thing, to have their channels for like a year or a year and a half. Now, why is it that you don't see YouTubers doing what that exact shit I just named to grow their channels? And the reason is, it's not going to bite you in the ass when you've got 1,000 or 2,000 subs, or even 5,000 subs. And it might when you get to 5,000, but it's going to bite you in your ass when your channel grows, because that's the bigger your channel gets, the more and more likely you are to have a YouTube reviewer look at your channel. While your channel's little, it's almost like negligent, the chance you have of a YouTube reviewer looking at it. But as you grow, it starts to get a guarantee. This is why you'll see certain conspiracy channels go down, and even bigger conspiracy channels do just fine for another year. Though eventually, as we saw with those channels, they all go down. They all go down. I'm going to tell you now, when you delete a channel, or I'm sorry, when you delete a video from your channel, that's one of the first videos they watch when they review your channel, because they want to see what it is you're trying to hide, or what it is you did wrong, or what you did. That is a fact. And people at YouTube, people that know YouTube will tell you, they have your videos forever. What you upload is there forever. I heard of a guy, and this is a good example of this. He used to use his channel unlisted for himself to watch episodes of like certain shows that he liked, but it was a copyright violation. But he deleted that all. He only had like 4 or 5 videos, maybe of like a couple episodes of a show he watched, and it wasn't even that popular of a show. And he deleted them and started uploading, and eventually his channel had a video that did well, and it got views. And that was back before you could even demonetize. And he ended up taking YouTube semi-seriously for a little while, and then his channel disappeared, and it was because of those videos. Also, you've got conspiracy channels that have done really fucked up things, deleted their videos of them doing it, that as their channel grew, they would get zapped off of the face of the YouTube, and they would come out and say it was some other reason, but most people who knew what was going on or followed the channel knew what it was that was the issue. So my point is, remember Nate the lawyer? Not only did he just get reviewed not even that long ago, but he got reviewed again for the silver play button. So the point I'm making there is, like, if they went and looked at Nate, let's say that Nate did 10 videos where he just was live, bitch, and all this other stuff, or, you know, doxing people or doing something crazy, YouTube's going to see it. They're going to know. And even if it's deleted, almost especially if it's deleted. So my thing is, when you see a channel like that, I ignore them, because I know that one of two things. One, they're going to stay small forever, and they're eventually going to get pissed that they're small and they're going to run away. Or two, they're going to grow a little bit. YouTube's going to see what's up. They're going to come in and zap them when it really matters to them. And then it stings real fucking bad, because they're sitting there like, fuck, I could have had a career at this, and I could have made money at this, and I could have did this, and they're permabanned, and they're never going to do it again, right? So it's the ultimate kind of haha fuck you to people like that. I've always said, you ignore people that cross that line and let them, you know, build up all that fucked up shit they're doing on their channel, because, you know, they're guaranteeing their demise eventually.
Well, and that, you know, that's exactly what's happening here, right? One of the things that people were talking about, or someone asked earlier, was why is he still talking about her, right? And the reason is because he knows, number one, he doesn't have any content outside of that and the NSS, right? And the NSS is done and over with. Like it's been, you know, it's over. And not as in like there's nothing left to go, right?
Well, I was talking about the people that T-Spiracy's been, you know, going against, but it's the same for this person too. Yeah, same for him too.
Right, because, and the thing is that's why they keep talking about this certain person, is because they know that if they were to get onto something that would make, you know, an actual career for them in YouTube's going to go back and look at these years of crap that they've done, and their channel's going to disappear. They literally have doomed themselves to only be able to talk about certain things, because they're not going to be able to go any further.
Yep. So, you know, the thing that a lot of people are noticing now is that, you know, the ANTIKJ community, which isn't the channels, but it's the actual community, is starting to wither down. People are starting to get fed up with like using the excuse, but I'm doing it to Katie. It's like, yeah, I might be sitting here doing this thing that's like really nasty and evil and shit, but I'm doing it to Katie. That excuse isn't working anymore for people. So,
yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. I mean, it was destined to happen. I'm glad it's happening now. Now that the external drama that's mixed in, of course, is going to get some attention, especially when that attention revolves around like it. So if you want to get easy views, just go out and create a channel, attack Katie in the most nasty, evil way you can, and you do all that nasty shit that I won't name right now that they're doing to her and other people. And I promise you, you're going to get people that come and watch. You're going to get views, but the majority of the people there are going to be there to watch you do that. They're not going to be there to watch you, to be like, you know, cheering you on. So,
well, and that's the thing, is that it thins out. There's these ebbs and flows, right? And YouTube is the king of ebb and flow. And that's why you had to be constant in what you're doing. You have to upload, you know, regular basis and all these things you talked about 1,000 times, because there is this ebb and flow.
You take your breaks at certain time during the year, stuff like that. Yep.
Well, what you talked about before, like, it's the same with a lot of things, right? It's the same with television and everything else. Like, you know, summertime, like views go down because people are out doing things. They're not spending as much time at home. Wintertime, you know, things come back up. People are stuck in their houses because of the cold and stuff. And so they're no more likely to watch more YouTube.
And then when you go into Christmas, it gets a little poppy into January.
Exactly.
Pops off.
And so you have to remain constant. That's how you get fired.
Hi, Jim and I mean, I kind of started playing games, which is the end of the stream when I play games for a little bit and then go offline. But you didn't miss much. I just rambled on, basically trying to, you know, compliment certain channels that I really can't. What I want to do is go in and actually tell you what's going on, show you what's happened, and show you the amount of exposure and damage that's been done to some really, you know, fucked up people on the platform by some really, I think, you know, some creators that really stepped up. Unfortunately, just me talking this little bit is going to give too much attention to those on the other side, so I'm going to kind of shut up about it a little bit. But what I'd like to know, Navy, from you is, what do you think about the communities out there, like, watching this from afar, right? Because now that the anti-KJ community is not even flatlined but dipped down, and people are starting to finally come out and be like, yo, this kind of shit's fucked up and we're not going to tolerate this and that. Where do you think this all is going to go? Where do you think some of these creators are going to go? Or you think it'll round back and people end up supporting it again? Or you think people are going to keep going with it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of this really depends on what KJ does and whether and how they react to it. And what I mean is that you have a point right now where people are starting to kind of like step away from it, and they're starting to see like the sycophantism that's happening and the obsession that's happening, right? And they're trying to step away from it. So if these creators that you're talking about are smart enough, they will learn to step away from it and start doing something else to keep their viewers, you know, on what they're talking about, right? These, you know, T channels and all this kind of stuff. There's a ton of T out there that doesn't involve KJ. So
True.
they can go and do all this stuff and keep their viewers coming back and all this kind of stuff. And if something pops up, kind of like what you've been doing, you know what I mean? Like, you've been doing other things. If something pops, they'll you know, say something about it or whatever, but it won't be the crux of what they're doing. It won't be the focus of what they're doing. And that's if they're smart enough to pay attention. They'll make one video, or, you know, one or two videos out there like disagreeing with certain things. That way they have it out there so that they, you know, if someone says, well, you were just like, you know, sycophant the entire time, they're like, no, here's a video where, you know, I explained this and I went from, you know, this angle. Excuse me. But
no, I'm with you. They're doing pretty good,
smart.
man. They're pretty smart creators, I think, and they're the ones that stood out the whole time, really. And right now, what I'm doing is actually going in and taking some of the weirdness that's going on in the channels that aren't moving away from the ones that you could call like the old school anti-KJ community. I'm starting to show their reaction. Like, you've got a couple anti-KJ channels that are literally screaming, reeing, and flipping out on their platform over shit that's just fake. It's just fake tea that they're inventing themselves. It's very entertaining watching them because they flip out, dude. They literally scream and yell like, you know, at the top of their lungs and how dare you and shit. It's funny. It's in my video that I uploaded tomorrow. So
yeah, I heard that. I heard that when you did give us the preview earlier. That's crazy. Like, that's a little like, you know, come on now.
Well, that's what I was gonna pull up tonight. I was gonna pull up some of the more extreme examples that are going on out there, and then kind of like make fun of it a little bit, joke about it a little bit, you know, that kind of thing, like I do.
Well, that's,
but I'm not gonna.
Your own drama.
I'm not streaming late tonight, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. You know, that's how they create the drama, though, right? Is that if you get on to a stream and you start screaming and yelling about something, people are like, "Oh my gosh, it must be something crazy," and it's not anything really crazy. It's just you screaming and yelling, but it pulls in people enough, clickbaity, right? I guess you could say voice baity, or click voicey, whatever you want to call it, to get people thinking that there's something crazy going on. You get all these views and stuff, but in the end, the problem with doing that is that when you have like this shock jock type, you know, view on things, is that after a while people start seeing through it and they realize that there's nothing going on now, and they leave you.
That's exactly what happened with Katie. Remember when she was clickbaiting the Josh Duggar thing, and it made a lot of her audience mad at her. They stopped watching. What happened was there's this lady named Amy Duggar King, and then Katie and Amy Duggar got along with each other for some reason. I don't even know why. I don't even know the details. But there was one anti-KJ channel that exploded and went out and said, yo, everybody go to her business and go here and go there and attack and tell Amy Duggar that she better stop dealing with KJ. So a few other channels kind of followed suit, and people got their Discords together and went and did it, or their Twitter's groups, their groups together and went and did it. And then it was crazy because not only did Amy Duggar upload an apology video. First, she uploaded a video mocking that creator, and then she uploaded a video apologizing. And then for some reason, Katie ended up apologizing. But it's funny. It's actually cool because it's not just T-Spiracy that's like stepped up and just started like nuking these really fucked up creators in her community. There's even some smaller creators who have stepped up and did some entertaining AF videos where they take everything that happened, lay it out, and they're sitting there calling out these members of the old guard that are doing this. So like the idea of calling out their own is even moving even further into the anti-KJ community. So I give it a week or two, and we're going to see so many examples and different weird patterns and interactions of this that I'm going to have some pretty good videos breaking it all down, I think. Community interaction videos and stuff.
Well, I think we talked about this a couple times. I know we talked about in Discord and stuff, is that the problem with communities like this that have such a one-minded focus, right? Such a tunnel vision on certain things is that eventually they end up, they end up turning on each other. Like, because one person does something, and we've seen it recently with everyone that you've talked about, is that one person does something that's kind of crazy, or like you said, the old guard starts doing like crazier things, and all of a sudden now they're arguing with each other. And you just kind of sit back, get your popcorn ready, and watch the dumpster fire, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's the future of any of these groups that have such a narrow focus on what they're attacking, what they're going after, right?
You are correct. You very much are. And I went into the wrong map, damn it. I meant to go to reserve. I don't even know what I'm doing here. No, you're definitely right. Oh, Christina's here? Hey, Tina. Yeah. And like I said, man, I had a pretty good stream planned, but tonight I'm not in the... I'm too exhausted to do it. I still haven't got that really good sleep in. Yeah, it has been. And I need like a long sleep from it. And I'm just not... I'm at like 40%, but after I sleep tonight, I'll be at 100% for the first time in a while. So it's going to be nice. And I got a video coming out in the morning. That's one reason I'm pretty drained, is because I edited for days on that video. You'll understand when you see it, because it's a mess of editing. Like, I edited the fuck out of that video. It's a good video, though. I think it's entertaining. I'm kind of known for taking the dumbest kind of interactions or things that happen and making, pretty entertaining videos out of it. So it definitely has a narrative and a story that I'm going to tell over the next, like, 5 videos I do. So I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, all your videos are entertaining. I enjoy them every time you put one out.
Well, thanks, buddy. I definitely, try. I have never been here in this mall, so this is cool. New little area I've never seen before. Oh.
Madam wants to know if you're ever going to do content that's not gossip stuff. This is Stranger Than the Fiction stuff. That was fun.
I know. The thing with the Stranger Than Fiction stuff that I used to do, YouTube demonetized it. If I could do it without those type of videos being demonetized, I promise you I would. I've thought about trying again, but right in the last 2 months, YouTube started another huge demonetization wave. So it's kind of a really dangerous territory to step anywhere outside of, like, me talking about me doing YouTube commentary. Really, I'm just doing a more unique version of YouTube commentary right now. So will I ever go back to that? I do hope so. I'd love to. But I don't know. I mean, YouTube's a really weird place right now. Creators are on the tips of their toes, like tiptoeing around, trying not to say anything that trips the algorithm, trying not to do any topics that YouTube censors. And I promise you, if that wasn't the case, I would have been doing my normal shit years ago. So we'll see. I'll definitely think about it, but it's all up to YouTube, really. At someday, you're just gonna see me retire to doing video game content. Someday. It'll be years from now, but someday that'll be the end point. I try not to do just gossip though. What I try to do, or what I say is drama though. What I try to do is analyze how these communities form and then how the worst kind of situations in these communities happen. So that maybe there's a little bit of value in it. I know that like the problem is I haven't been uploading lately. So there's not a summation there for what I've been doing. But now that I'm back to uploading, I think you'll see the point of what... I'd say give my videos a week and you'll get... I think you guys you'll get what I'm doing and you'll really like it. Give me a week. I plan on scaring off at least a couple hundred subscribers though, so... off of Unirock too. So I kind of do that when I change up my flow. I'll usually like scare off a couple hundred peeps. Because I'm gonna do some different stuff here in the next week or two. Shit, I got some different stuff coming out tomorrow. Just give my video a chance tomorrow. I think you'll okay, I'll just spill the beans now. I'm about to light up a few people, and then just roll right down the line. I'm about to go ahead and just, you know, give a good criticism, a good diagnosis of whatever remains of the anti-KJ community here as the final blow to their community. But I mean they'll still exist afterwards. I'm just hoping it'll restart the cycle. It'll restart the whole mess from the last year or so. But I plan on dropping a nuke and rolling on out if anyone hasn't noticed yet. You dead. Uh-oh. You just heard somebody else. Damn it, I completely shredded that dude's armor. I need some armor. I need to do only headshots so I can get some good armor on me. Then I'm gonna try to take a helmet off somebody. Just have some faith, peeps. Just have some faith. I'm coming off of a good, like, 2-month break, so... If you hate my stuff after this next week, then I encourage you to unsub, but I think you're gonna like what you're about to see. If you like my regular old content, that is. Junk ammo everywhere.
Dr. Misha says, gotta love the uni nukes.
Oh, this uni news tomorrow is gonna make... There's gonna be some people mad after tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the... drop the warning for everybody now. Gonna be some angry people after this video tomorrow. Where are all these dead bodies coming from? There has to be a player right here. Dead bodies everywhere. Yes, that is a Rancid song for any punk rock fans out there. Really good song, by the way. Damn it, I need the ammo out of this, damn. If I have time to unload them without getting shot. There we go. Now we got some backup ammo. Came in with no backup ammo, but I knew I'd find some. I didn't bring my fucking interchange keys, man. God. I'm gonna die.
So besides everything you talked about, anything else been going on out there? Since I took my little 2-week hiatus and traveled.
There's been There's been a good lot going on. Oh, fuck me, on a Sunday running. There's like 8 fuckers right here.
Asshole.
What do you think about the whole dislike button thing?
I think it's ridiculously stupid.
No, I agree 100%. I think YouTube's just being big baby.
Ridiculously stupid. I don't know what the fuck YouTube's thinking.
I mean, the only thing I can figure is they're...
Fighting 2 players.
You mother!
Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think YouTube just don't want to hurt anybody's feces anymore. Somebody probably bitched at them or something like that about how the dislike button was putting them into a frenzy.
Mainstream media.
They get rid of it. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yep.
The news, the media, they want us watching, you know, certified sources. They don't even like when a bunch of fucking, They don't even like when a bunch of lawyers get together and ex-prosecutors and talk about things for some reason.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. You want people, you want experts out there. They bitch and moan about, you know, not, you know, wanting experts to talk about this stuff. And you get a bunch of experts together in a room talking about something, and then they lose their shit.
I killed him. I killed him. I killed him. Oh my God, that was tight. Was that the dude I was fighting this whole time? Oh my God, that was a fucking power play if that was. That was a straight power play. Wow, I'm a genius. Wow. Wow, peeps. Wow. You know, YouTube is trying to change itself to be this PC platform, but then it keeps, like, telling us, like, it sent me this message the other day. It was like, you're a valued creator, and we want to know what you think about us trying to give you more options to be able to upload the kind of things you want to say and do while staying monetized. And I'm just like, yeah, right, you know? I don't even trust it anymore. It's like, don't get my hopes up again just to destroy them. You know, I had a channel with 40,000 subs. I had massive views every time I uploaded. Videos, 800,000, 900,000, 500,000, 400,000 views. And YouTube just comes in and demonetizes all of it, and I have to delete my entire back catalog to stay monetized. Imagine losing 2 years worth of work that becomes successful. Like, imagine Nate right now, where he's at. Or like maybe a few months ago when he was tipping around 50,000 or something. And then coming in and just being like, yeah, we're demonetizing everything and you got to delete all of it and start over from scratch or else we're going to take your partnership away. You know, it's one of the reasons why I think a lot of us just chill where we're at because we don't want to deal with YouTube. We don't want to deal with putting our hearts and souls into it again for another 4 years and then have them take away the progress we made, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust them.
It's fucking crazy. Well, and they don't follow their own TOS. It's weird. It's so weird how they do things and pick and choose stuff. Janie wants to know how you shot a dude when shooting through the glass and the glass is not broken.
The glass every object in Tarkov reduces penetration on your rounds to a certain degree. So if you're using higher penetration rounds, which the higher the penetration, the more expensive the round is. Like, that's why I'll buy rounds that cost like 3,000 or 2,000 rubles when normal rounds cost like 70 rubles. So that I can shoot through walls, I can shoot through glass, and it'll slow my bullets down and they'll do less damage. They'll pierce through armor less. But I think I killed that guy because I hit him in the head. I just got lucky and caught him with the headshot from that far away. When he wasn't ready. So he stood still for a good amount of me blasting him. So, you know, I got lucky there. But that was a legitimate kill. That was perfectly legitimate. Like, I've been killed that way a million times, so. I'm probably gonna die right now. Because I'm gonna go loot this dude. Yep, there he is. There's his buddy waiting on me. The only question is, was he a player or a scav? He was a player. I killed his... Okay, at least I killed his friend. So those were the two guys I was fighting. And I did kill him through the glass. Holy shit, that was a power play. And I didn't even have armor. Oh my god. Oh, I did. I hit level 39. Oh, damn. He had the good stuff, too. Well, madame, what I'm about to do is here's what I'm going to do, madame. I'm going to take the format, and I've been talking about doing this for months, but I had some personal things in the way. Luckily, those things have been resolved now. And what I'm going to do is take my old style of content, and I'm going to try to work in... Ooh, I got a level 5 armor I took off a dude. I'm going to take my old style of content and cover, you know, not things like I've been doing lately, but just more commentary-esque stuff around YouTube that's more, I'd say, I don't know what the word is. But yeah, I'm gonna do some stuff like that. I think it's gonna be stuff that people will like. So and it'll satisfy viewers that have watched me for a long time, and hopefully newer viewers too. So the thing is, like, anybody who's subbed to me because they want to fucking like hear my opinion on shit going